10th,
No,
2013. Yep. Today is December 10th, 2013, and you're listening to I Think You Think. I'm Justin. That's James, way over there.
Howdy, folks.
And Sequoia is in the middle.
Hi.
We figured we'd change things up a little bit. So we have no credentials worth noting. So there you go. Yazzie is joining us because she's awesome. And we are a weekly topical podcast that focuses on what we think and what you think. So feel free to email us. You can follow us on Facebook, on Twitter, and at the Chicago Now blogs. All of those links are in the underbar. But if you want to find an easier way to find all of those, you can go to our brand spanking new website. Well, still coming soon, but IThinkYouThink.com. It is IThinkYouThink.com. It is up and running. You can go there, and all of the links are there. Our videos are there. Well, not all of them, but they will be. James has obviously already had too much to drink. Anyway, we were shooting our promo video that you will be able to see in the coming weeks as I get it done. So I'm working as fast as I can, I promise. I've got my computer running over here, and I'm working on it during the show. Anyway, I Think You Think is produced by StolenArts Productions. So we are talking about Amazon drones.
Mm-hmm. And the Xbox One.
And the Xbox One. We're going to start off with the Xbox One because I think it'll be a relatively...
What's been consuming your time, Justin?
What has been consuming my time? The Xbox One.
Oh, coincidence. Okay, let's jump across then.
Yeah.
Sequoia, what's been consuming your time lately?
Work, school, blah, blah, blah. But in my off time, I've been watching a lot of Gordon Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares. It's sort of been the main thing I've been doing in my off time, which is not really that exciting. Probably only to me, but I've been like serial watching it, like 4 a.m. I'm like, what is wrong with me? Why am I still watching this show?
This chicken is undercooked.
I feel your pain, Gordon. And James, what's been consuming your life?
Work and still trying to perfect my guitar playing. Been practicing as often as I can. Trying to get to it every day. James
actually wrote the promo song and is playing it on his piano. Yes, his piano that he's been practicing.
I don't have a piano.
Is it?
None of that is true.
This is starting off very well this week.
So anyway,
it might be the casual location that we are in because we are on a couch.
We are. We've moved.
I told you.
There and now we're here.
You can still see the alcohol.
It's true.
Including this very scary skull. It's like right that direction. It's like I'm gonna poke you like right in that. There.
There it is. See it.
Tequila. Pickett's nose. Anyway, moving on, because the people who listen to the podcast can't see any of that.
That's true.
True. There we go.
Sorry.
You'll find it on YouTube. Or go to IThinkYouThink.com, and there'll be a link to it.
There you go. Hopefully the video quality is a little better. We are still moving towards trying to improve that as much as possible. We are always looking for feedback, anything that you guys want to email us or comment or message us on Facebook, whatever. So there you go. Any other notes? Any other?
We are on iTunes. I know we mentioned that last week.
Yep.
But for someone who might have missed last week's episode, you can find all of our stuff on iTunes. You can actually go to the website and just click through and get directly to that stuff now.
You can subscribe to us and whatever iTunes does. I've never actually had an iTunes, so
you can't subscribe yet.
That'll automatically download the new ones for you, I believe, and then sync it to your iPod or whatever you use.
iPhone.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Is that a thing?
It is.
I just made it up. Wow.
So what about you, Yazzie? What do you got going
on? Work, alcohol, voice. That's basically it. Nothing new, nothing special. I've been watching a lot of Downton Abbey though. That's awesome. Everybody should check that out if you haven't.
I have heard great things about that show. I just have not watched it yet.
Seriously, you should really check it out as soon as possible.
Is one of the reasons you're watching it because of the reason you told me?
That's vague.
Yeah, and I would think
I don't remember saying a reason.
She watched it. It's probably the reason she watched it.
I was just.
And if she didn't bring it up, she probably didn't want to bring it up, for the entire world to see.
Because the entire world does watch our podcast. Anyways, So you've been playing the Xbox
Exactly.
Dead Rising 3?
I do have Dead Rising 3, and I have been playing it. There is kind of a, like, as I've been playing the Xbox One, I've only had Dead Rising 3, so I've only really, gaming-wise, that's all I have to compare it to. I have to say that while I owned Dead Rising 2 and played through about half of the game, I never really liked the gameplay. Like, I don't like the way the game is designed. It has like time. You have a certain amount of time to get things done. You have a certain amount of time to get through stuff. And the idea behind the game that there's massive amounts of zombies that you can fight and everything is a lot of fun. And it's great because in Dead Rising 2 you probably had at the biggest time you could probably get like 100, 150 zombies on the screen, which was pretty cool. I mean, pretty impressive because that was on the 360. But on Dead Rising 3, using the powerhouse that is Xbox One, there have been times where I've come around a corner because it's in a little town with a car, and you look up over this like little dip in the road, and there are like literally 1,000 zombies down there. I mean, there are a lot of zombies just flooding the screen. It's crazy to see that many. The gameplay is still very similar, so it's still very Dead Rising. So if you liked the Dead Rising games, it's worth it to at least have at some point. But I'm not a big fan of that kind of style where you're forced to get things done in a certain amount of time. I want to take my time, especially in open world games like these. But it looks visually stunning. It's a beautiful game. The graphics are amazing. The story is relatively okay. I mean, it's a zombie movie. It's a zombie game, so it's pretty much don't die from zombies. So do maybe this thing or that. So that's for Dead Rising 3. Unless you're a huge fan of the series, I don't think you need to get it right now at $60. You can probably wait until it's probably 30 or 40, and then anything less than that is probably a pretty good deal. I would probably stray more towards 30, unless you're a big fan of the game. Then
one of the problems though at this stage is for that and the PS4, there aren't a lot of games out there.
Correct.
So you're gonna have to bite the bullet on something.
Yes, if you want to have a game. I mean, my plan was not originally to buy any games for the Xbox One. I'm an Xbox fanboy, and so that's one of the reasons why I got the Xbox One. I knew going into getting the Xbox One that there wasn't going to be a lot of games. I wasn't planning on buying any games, and I was primarily going to use it for the multimedia features that it has. For example, you can link up your cable box to it.
Basically, your cable box runs out of the cable box into the Xbox into the TV.
Correct.
So it's kind of like a midpoint where it can control things.
Yes. So it does that in HDMI out from your cable box. Most cable providers all have HDMI now. I mean, it's pretty standard. Runs into the Xbox. It was easy to hook up. It was easy, very easy to sync up. I mean, it's just a matter of choosing, hey, I have WoW, which is Wide Open West, which is around here. It's WoW cable. And they found it. The Xbox One figured out what my provider's box was, what type of TV I had, because the Xbox One, not only will it control your cable box with voice features, because it has an on-screen guide that you can use voice features with, which they demoed at E3 and things like that, but it also controls your TV. You can volume up and down, you can turn on and off your TV, all with the Xbox One.
Nice.
So the Xbox On feature is really nice. The Xbox is off, the TV is off. You just walk into the room and say, Xbox on, and it turns on the Xbox, it turns on the TV. It's kind of cool. That was interesting.
Sorry.
Who's playing a video?
Who's playing all that music?
Yeah, it's so loud.
James,
Turn
is
it
it
down.
I think I'm pretty sure it's James. Blame it on James. It was not me. I swear.
Oh man.
So
Victimized again.
I will say that
Sounds like my first.
the voice features for the Xbox One are marginally better than the voice features for the Kinect, for the Xbox 360's Kinect.
Marginally?
Marginally. They're still got some of the same problems. I live in a household with 3 other people, and 2 of them are under 10. One of them is under 4. So, I mean, it's a relatively noisy environment. And so the Xbox doesn't like that, especially when everybody's trying to talk to it.
Right.
Because we're pre-programmed that, hey, James just told the Xbox to stop playing, and it didn't hear him. So obviously, I need to say it at the same time, and everybody does this. And then you're all talking with each other. So the voice control is a little better. It does have more features with the voice control. You still can't do searching for things with voice control. You still have to use the controller. Some of the nice things that they've gotten better with is that the hand motion controls are way better.
Okay.
With the Kinect, like, it was clunky. It was gimmicky for the most part. They've gotten a lot better. You don't have to turn it on and turn it off. It's always on. If you put your hand up, it notices, it grabs, and it is immediately up there. You can grab video and move around on the dashboard. And then the moment you put your hand down, it's gone. Like, it's not interfering. With the Kinect, there was problems. Like, it would not be sure if you were done.
Like,
yeah, but it's good. I mean, and I've heard even that
get the face to make it work.
I've heard it even actually tracks individual fingers as well. So the idea is eventually you'll be able to. I mean, you'll be able to, by holding up certain fingers, you'll be able to communicate certain things to the Xbox.
That's how you turn off the Xbox and you're mad at it.
That will be awesome.
But all in all, honestly, my wife has probably used a lot of the multimedia features more than I have. But one of the things that I think, and some people thought this is kind of creepy, but I think it's kind of fun because I like technology, and we're only probably 30 or 40 years away from being robots anyway.
Told you.
I'm cool with it.
I am not, but okay, go on.
I'm not either.
I've walked into the room. My wife will be on there or whatever, and she'll leave. I'll walk into the room and sit down, and the Xbox recognizes me. It says, "Hi, Justin," and signs me in.
Okay,
So,
that's totally creepy. No, that is creepy, Justin. That is so creepy.
That's the future, though.
No.
It's the future.
Honestly, that's the way.
I don't want to be a part of it.
I mean, smartphones are heading in that direction where they're going to know you, know what you do, know where you go.
Well, his unlocks on his face.
Yeah, mine's done that
So-
too. And
Mine can do that too, but I don't have that feature on.
Yeah, I didn't turn that on mine.
So, all in all, if I was gonna put kind of a quote or something on the Xbox One, is I would not buy one right now, unless you absolutely have to have one. And if you absolutely have to have one, you already bought it. So anybody who doesn't have one right now, you could wait. You really could, unless you're really interested in any of those features. You might as well wait until either Christmas gets closer. They might have some kind of specials where you get the Xbox with some games or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd almost say it's probably more likely next Christmas.
Yeah,
Because
that's
they sold their original batch, because you only make so much money when you're fighting the deadline and you're fighting PlayStation to get the market in time.
Of course.
And I mean, I bought it because, like I said, I'm an Xbox fanboy. I love my Xbox 360. I was looking forward to having an Xbox One, and so the only reason I bought it is because I'm a fanboy of Xbox. But most people, you don't need it. I mean, the features are not that amazing. It's not they're not really groundbreaking or anything in the sense other than it's just the next line. So the graphics are better. The system is a better powerhouse. It's got some nice features that are there will be fun for video game playing where you can. When something cool happens, you can say, "Hey, Xbox can record that," and it'll record the last 15 minutes or so of gameplay and continue, what that had happened.
That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah, it's really cool.
That is nice.
It's pretty awesome. I mean, and then to have that to be able to go in and edit those videos and things like that and post them for other people to see. What I'd like to see.
You can do that all on the Xbox?
Yeah, all on the Xbox. Yep. Yeah,
That's
all of those
awesome.
features are available. What I'd like to see maybe in the future would be the ability to, when I'm in a party with a friend who's playing a one-person game where I could actually watch them playing while we're in a party. As much as I'd like co-op games, not all games are co-op, and sometimes it would be nice to just,
I'm playing a new game that's only one person, and you were thinking about buying it.
Yeah.
And instead of having to, we both have busy schedules. I mean, fitting this in, we do spend time together, but before this we really didn't. You could come in, watch, we could talk about gameplay, and you'd be like, oh, how, and kind of see the game, know if you want to buy it. or just hang out,
Right.
just in general.
Right.
While I have the brand new game, you don't, Yeah. But overall, $500 maybe too much at this stage.
At this stage,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. I mean, next year when there's some sales, I guarantee the system's price isn't going to drop anytime soon. Probably at least not for 3 or 4 years. That's pretty typical. And the first price drop is not going to be much, $50, maybe $100 if you're lucky.
It'll be bare bones when it does happen.
Yeah, the biggest thing is next year they'll have bundles. Actually, probably in about 6 months you'll start to see bundles with the Xbox One. I mean, there's bundles now, but it's pay $1,000 for an Xbox with all of the launch titles, and maybe you got a free controller out of it. I mean, it's a lot of money to put down.
And you're not saving that much.
No,
because who actually wants all the games?
Yes, I mean some of the games I'm not interested in in the least.
It's very of all the launch release games for both systems. When I look through it, there's very few that really grab me. I normally play the NBA games, so that's a launch title, I believe. The Need for Speed is another series I watch. Dead Rising's kind of on the fringe. I like zombie games, but I'm not a fan of that series in itself. And then Elder Scrolls, which isn't even out yet.
Correct.
And that's almost it.
There's a bunch of games that are in the launch window, which is any time between the launch date and March. So that's a long window. They do consider it. That's the launch window, which
the better part of 5 months.
It is. Some of the things that aren't out yet that are supposed to be due out within the launch window are Minecraft for Xbox One.
Are you a fan?
I am a very big fan. Yeah, I love Minecraft. I actually just got it for my computer, so I'm really excited. And then the one that I'm looking forward to only for my son's benefit, which is Project Spark.
But from everything I've heard about that, I think we've talked about it a little bit on the podcast before. It seems like it could be like the next kind of generation of a huge jump in video gaming. Video gaming becoming something very different, because it's supposed to be a game where you can almost make any other type of game.
You literally can make any other type of game.
Minecraft, Little Big Planet.
Yep.
Those kind of things kind of come into fruition in its own.
Yeah, I mean, you can. It's not just making a. They've demoed some of the games, and a lot of them are like this third person where you're either following behind. But you can make it a first person shooter. You can make it a puzzle game. You can make it Mahjong or something, or solitaire, card games. I mean, you literally can do any of those things with the game because the coding system is very intuitive, from what I understand.
Yeah.
I think it would be more difficult for me to get a grasp on it than my 8-year-old son, because I think that stuff comes very naturally to him.
But he can also spend a lot more time working on it.
That's true.
Than you're going to be willing to do.
Yeah.
Just the nature of children, they have that kind of free time. They have that kind of drive to do it.
Yeah.
I'd much rather myself personally pay the $60 for a new game that I can just play for 60 hours than pay whatever it would be, $20 or $30 for a game, or maybe $60 to spend 60 hours making a game that I can play for 10.
Well, Project Spark's going to be free, so.
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah, Project Spark is 100% free. My guess is they'll probably do on-demand pay stuff, where if you want some of these other features or some of these other textures,
and stuff,
then it costs $5 for this, or it costs $3 for this. Because that seems like a pretty good business model that everybody is starting to fall into.
So quick question. If there was a price point where you would say a lot more people should buy the Xbox One, what would that price point be?
Right now, if you found an Xbox One for anything less than the $500,
we're talking 400 and under.
I would say under 400. So let's say $399. If you found an Xbox One for $399, it was new, not used, not open, or anything like that, that's probably a great price. But again, I mean, then you're still going to have to invest in new games. There's not going to be any used games. There's still going to be $60. Even a used copy is probably going to be $55.
Are the day one versions backwards compatible?
No. Xbox One will probably never be backwards compatible with Xbox 360 games.
I'm surprised.
They'll probably do what PlayStation did, and eventually offer the ability, to rebuy those older games in their digital download store.
Well, and actually, we did that for a while too. Because remember when I had my Wii, I had
Wii's bread and butter. I think
because
it's got to be a big part of their model as far as making money is selling Super Mario Brothers and all those old games from all the old systems.
Because really, for the average gamer, the only reason to have a Wii is to play
Mario.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and
Oh yeah, totally.
being able to play the classic was part of the draw of having a Wii for me.
Oh yeah.
You know, or even like the old like Zelda and like the Link game that for some reason most people don't exist in. But yeah, so I think that would be a great move for Xbox to do.
Yeah, well, they did that with the 360. You started getting more classic Xbox original games. You even can get some old Sega games and things like that too.
Yeah.
Well, remember when I really got into the Fable franchise? I started with Fable 2, but I couldn't find like an Xbox 360 version of Fable.
Right, because it was an original.
Exactly. So I ended up I bought it for the PC, and it sort of just lost a little bit for me because I'm not, except for WoW, I'm not really a PC gamer.
Right.
Bring it down a notch. You're not playing WoW.
I am fighting it hard lately. Okay. You have no how difficult it is not to go back
Somebody
to WoW.
call her sponsor.
I don't have one.
Is your hand still? Are you shaking?
That does remind me of two real quick things that I want to say about the Xbox One. One, all of the games they download to the Xbox. And so when I had told you about this, when I put Dead Rising 3 in the first time after I got it, I was supposed to be over here like in about an hour. And so I was like, I'll be able to play for like 20 minutes. I'll get an idea what the game's like. It had to install. And I left for his house about 15 minutes before I needed to be here. That's kind, like 10 minutes. Maybe the time I was supposed to be here is when I left. It was late. Yeah. And it was still installing. I mean, it takes a long time to install these games. The game plays very quick then, and the load screens are much slower. Much quicker. But it is significant. I mean,
like you get home with the game, you don't get to play right away.
You don't get to play right away with the game, and that was kind of disappointing. I didn't even think about it until after it started downloading.
So when you install those games, it takes up memory.
It takes up memory, but it's got a 500 gig hard drive.
Okay, because that's what I was wondering. So I was going to say,
how big
like,
is the game? How much space?
Yeah, that was my question.
Probably 3 or 4 gig. If I remember correctly.
So you are going to eat that up relatively quickly over the life.
Yeah, you're limited. That sucks.
Yeah.
It's true, but my guess is you can probably uninstall the games and then reinstall them later, and you won't lose any of your saves because the saves are on the cloud and things like that.
That's probably true. Yeah.
So yes, it would suck if like you stopped playing a game for 6 months and then when you came back to play it again, you had uninstalled it and now you have to wait 45 minutes to an hour to install the game again.
Yeah, but I mean, even if you had 100 games installed, you still have like, roughly, 200 gigs more extra space.
Yes, yeah, I mean,
and 100 games is a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot of games.
That's more games than I own currently in actual physical.
I mean, let's be honest, by the time that the lifetime of the Xbox One is up and we're transitioning to the next console, the memory of that is going to be up in the newer versions. And able to add on hard drive.
But that is a
memory.
What do you call it? PlayStation has allowed that previously, but I don't know if Xbox has it for the 360 that I have. I don't know if they'll do that for the
An external hard drive?
Yeah, the PS3 you can do that with.
You can plug in USB drives to the Xbox 360 up to 32 gigs,
which is nothing.
Yeah, but this is also looking at the technology from this point of view. I mean, by the time that we get a couple years into this console, the technology will have gone farther.
Well, but it's not technology because Xbox could allow that you could do a 4 terabyte, but they don't. True. They put a 32 gig limit, so you're basically using flash drives for memory. So unless they open it up and allow it, because they could. I mean, it's not.
I don't even recommend using flash drives because that's how I lost all my freaking games. Flash drive.
It's not bitter at all.
Yeah. But there's a weird smell of bitterness coming from the other end of the computer.
I smell it all the way over here.
Oh my gosh, my computer's on fire.
All the way over there.
All those tabs.
But I don't get why don't, like, when they know Xbox is gonna come out, like, why don't all the popular games make it so that all of their games are out in Xbox One or PS4? I mean, why is it so limited when they know, like 6 months ahead, a year ahead, they know the Xbox One is gonna come out?
Well, part of that is that not everybody's going to buy them, so there's still a big market for the 360 and the PS3 because people still have those games.
Yeah.
And the thing is, as long as every major developer makes at least one game, they're going to sell a decent amount because of the limited market, supply and demand. Yeah. There's whatever 10 games. Every one of those games is going to sell really well. Mm-hmm. They don't really have to cater to us in this moment.
Not to mention that, and also to mention that the Xbox One is a different platform. Like, it uses a different system. It just doesn't run Xbox 360. Now, there's not to say that they couldn't somehow put some sort of an emulator on the Xbox One to run 360 games, but not to. I mean, Microsoft is technically. I mean, they're in the business of making money. By the way, there is a rumor going around that you can make your Xbox One backwards compatible by following these steps and going into this developer menu.
But isn't that false?
Do not do it. It will brick your Xbox One, and it will be useless. So, Major Nelson or something like that, who's one of the spokespeople for Xbox, he's got videos on the 360 and all kinds of stuff. He had gone on and said, do not do this. Like, that's one of the reasons that Microsoft was like, don't mess around with the developer menus because you could screw up your Xbox One seriously.
And we ain't gonna help you.
Yeah. Basically, if you break your
warranty is not covered.
No,
that does not cover it.
They don't want you in that.
That was just a thing on 4chan, though. It was the same guys that made up the whole Cup for Bieber thing and Shave for Bieber thing. Like, they made up the whole thing just to, like, mess with the Xbox Game Boy fanboys, like you just did.
Yeah.
And people actually bought it. Like, there was this one guy who posted, like, what do I do now? This is my brother's Xbox. And I broke it.
Did you think about maybe buying him some jewelry, Yazzie, when you broke his Xbox? Did you think about maybe buying him some jewelry when you broke his Xbox? Because I have this place. You can go if you want. It's JavaMax.com. They sell all kinds of awesome jewelry. And I guess they have some special in 21 days. It's New Year's. Silver snowflake earrings. As Justin has mentioned many times in the podcast, one of the ladies who runs this site helped us make all of our images that we use, all of our logos and everything, which are smattered across our new website. But a lot of great deals. I think they're always having a sale, always bringing up new stuff. So if you've been there before, didn't see anything that really grabbed you, go again, because I'm seeing stuff I've never seen before, and we're here weekly. So they have their Facebook and their Twitter, so you can follow them on Twitter, as Sequoia is pointing out by circling the little little cursor. But anyways, Christmas is coming really quick. Looking for a gift. It's a great place to go. Go check it out. And as always, if you're watching the podcast, we appreciate all the graphics you did for us. Yeah.
There you go.
So, the Xbox One, I think we've covered that.
What?
Not screen sharing anymore.
Nope, you're good.
Okay, just checking. I want to be stuck on that
for the rest of the podcast.
Most awkward podcast ever.
I have this at hippie style, guys. It's been too long.
So, moving on, we are going to talk about the eyes in the skies bringing us supplies.
The Amadrones. You're welcome, Tom.
Hashtag Amadrones.
Thomas Burkhardt.
Yep.
It's pending.
Anyway, Amazon has been testing out. If you just crawled out from under a rock over this last week, Amazon has been testing these new delivery drones where you order something from Amazon and in 30 minutes you basically have it at your door, dropped off by I think what they call octocopters or something, because they've got 8 blades.
Yeah.
So they've been testing these things.
But not in America, because they can't test them in America.
Because of the FAA.
People will probably shoot them down.
Well, yeah, they can't. For some reason, they can't test them in America, so they've been testing them. I don't remember where, but outside of America.
Well, they have to technically get airspace cleared and stuff like that before they're allowed to test these sorts of things and stuff
that
like
doesn't surprise me. I mean, that's yeah.
I mean, because it's
America,
Amazon, so we're just let him do it. But if it was that crazy guy down the street, we're don't let him test drones.
Why doesn't he even have one?
Hey.
I want to walk my dog with my drone.
Fluffy! That spiraled really quickly. Anyway.
So half-hour delivery. I think, and they don't really mention it, but I think they're talking more about very, city areas, very developed areas.
Yeah.
You know, outback of Wyoming isn't going to be able to get 30-minute delivery.
Norway isn't going to get 30
Sorry,
minutes
Mom.
delivery probably.
Yeah, I mean,
it's interesting though on their like promo videos and stuff. It shows it flying through like fields, like farms
Well, yeah.
and like places where there's no gigantic skyscrapers. There's no trees really around.
No birds to like poke it.
In my neighborhood, I've got an entire line of trees next to my house. I've got a huge tree right in front of me. There is no way they could come unless they dropped down to like 10 feet off the ground and flew 50 feet up from the street onto my right in front of my house. There's really no way they could get there.
yeah, but I mean that's neither here nor there. I'm sure they'd be able to figure that out. You know.
Yeah, they probably will start in very like urbanized areas. I mean, you know.
That's where you're going to have to start, where there's enough customer base to justify having it there.
Right.
But I guess they can carry 8 things at once in buckets.
Those little yellow buckets.
Yeah.
I was concerned. I was confused about that too, because like it drops off the bucket and then it like flew away in the little promo video that they had. And the guy comes out of his house and picks up the bucket and takes it inside, and I'm like, how do they get that bucket back?
I mean, if the buckets are,
It's probably.
yeah, I mean, a plastic bucket isn't really going to be that expensive overall.
Yeah.
Well,
Is it more expensive than like normal shipping? I mean, if you take out the cost of the drone, which is going to be expensive, obviously. If you take that out, is it more expensive than a box and a packing material and all that stuff to make one piece of plastic?
Yeah, and we don't even know. They haven't, to the best of my knowledge, they haven't released any. This is how it's going to cost this much more for this 30-minute delivery.
Oh,
Like,
this is
why
basically
did
just an
30
idea they're working on, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
No, they
yeah.
have prototypes. I mean, it's beyond an idea.
They're
Yeah.
testing it.
Yeah,
But
but
they're-
it's not going to be. It's not going to be like able to. You're not going to be able to use that until like 2-3 years in the future. Was it 2016 or something?
5 years, 4 to 5 years.
4 to 5 years, like even longer.
And they even said that was like a generous estimate would be 4 to 5 years.
Like, because to me, it's just I just don't see how they're gonna make this work. Like, people can steal them. How are they gonna make them not able for people to steal? Like, you know what I mean? It's just, to me, it's just stupid. And I think it's going to be limited. I don't think they're going to be able to do that in like Norway or let's say Belgium or like tiny countries. I think it's going to be in the United States, in Australia, probably Britain. I mean, I just don't. I think it's stupid. Sorry.
I think James is right.
How they're gonna do it.
It's going to be urban centers.
Yeah.
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 That's where it'll start at least. You know, if it works really well, then eventually they could spread out. Because you figure the more spread out the population, the less people will be ordering stuff. So a single drone would be able to cover a larger area. And from a half an hour becomes, 2 hours, which if you live in the middle of nowhere, that's still really awesome.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah,
I mean,
compared to like 6 days.
So different standards for different areas. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, is there anything I need that quickly that I can't go get myself?
Yeah.
Is this a necessary thing? And I think you're right. There's risk. As far as stealing, I'm sure there'd be tracking on the items that would be hard to remove. I think the bigger problem is people shooting them the F down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that,
The
but
crazy neighbor down the street who wants his own drone would definitely shoot down the Amazon.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like and
And
not
then
just
how do
that,
you-
but I think it's like an electronic device, and we can only trust this much on electronic devices. Like, they are bound to break one time or another, and I just imagine it's going to be so much of a hassle. Just so many people complaining because I never got my drone. Where's my drone? Or my drone came, but my box is gone, or the box was broken. My items are gone. Like, there's going to be so much more problems for them, and it's just, I just don't see it happening, honestly.
I'm with you. I think it's still. Well, I think that they'll get to make it work. We're still years and years and years away from it actually being a
Oh yeah.
smooth going operation. I think they're going to start out in cities, and that's where they're going to perfect a lot of it. But I think that the average person living in the suburbs, and especially like more rural areas, you're looking at 10 years until that this technology can even conceivably be used on a daily basis.
Well, now that I'm thinking about it, urban areas would almost be more difficult because of the large buildings. Like here, someone could come to my house and drop it off. They could go to your house and drop it off. But even you live in an apartment. It's not that cut and dry,
Mm-hmm.
to drop it off that way. So there's definitely, I mean, I'm sure they've thought about a lot of these issues. There's definitely a lot of complications beyond people not liking it or electronic failure or things like that. Just the actual execution of that is going to be very difficult.
Right, but that's
yeah.
that's why they're testing it. And
Yeah.
Businesses don't put things into test markets. They don't test things like this. If it's gotten so far that they're actually testing it, it's going to come. They're not going to spend the money on testing it to see if it works. Like
Right.
they've already
Not just testing, but the promoting of the whole thing.
Right. They've already decided. Yeah.
They don't announce this sort of thing unless they're like 100% going through.
They've decided that the cost to test it and everything, and the cost to implement it is it's cost effective. It's worth it for them. And the other thing is, Amazon's not the only one doing it. Like after Amazon released their video, UPS, I don't know if the post office did, but UPS,
they can't even afford to pay their workers. They can't afford to buy drones.
A lot of these other package delivery sites say, yeah. I mean, we've been talking about it. I mean, it's something that we've got in the works as well. So I mean, Amazon's not alone in this. They're the first ones to put a video out about it and get real excited about it and try to get other people excited about it, or at least talking about it. But
they've probably been talking about it for a longer time, though.
Yeah.
I think.
They must have been talking for at least 5 or 6 years, I guess.
I mean, Amazon's making the push, but I think in a lot of ways, a place like a Walmart or a Target actually is a better source for that because they have their products right there. Amazon is very scattered. I don't even know if there's an Amazon warehouse in Illinois.
Well, that's another thing that they were talking about in an article I read, though, is that part of them rolling out the drones is them rolling out a bunch of more warehouses. Like, they're definitely going to be, and they're already
they would have to.
warehouses all over the place. I can guarantee they have several in Illinois.
I mean, it's possible, but I have never had anything shipped to me from Illinois via Amazon.
That's
Indiana,
true, because you
Ohio.
obsessively track your
packages. I do track my but never once has it come from Illinois.
Maybe it's just you don't buy things that Illinois warehouses carry.
I've gotten texts from him like I ordered this and it's in Kansas right now, and then like 2 hours later, it's going to be here soon.
But I mean, either way, like Walmart, Target, Meijer, and whatever chains there are in other parts of the country or other parts of the world are already established with like locations that are centralized, so they would have a bigger edge. And I think no matter what our collective opinions are on it, I think the fact that this, in some way or another, is the future is undeniable.
Oh yeah, no, this is
yeah.
I mean, yeah, until you get a replicator or a transporter.
And anyone who makes that is not about to like send it out to the world. If you had a replicator, would you like give it to? Well, if I had a replicator, I don't know if I'd give it to the world. Sorry, I'm not sure if I would. Why not just sit here and replicate Xbox Ones and sell them for $400?
I really thought you were going to say
totally.
No, there's only room in this world for one of me.
Isn't that your choice of superpower, though?
Yeah, but it's different if they're like separate entities. It's a whole different thing. Go back and watch the superpowers thing we talked about on that. We haven't but I think it is the future one way or the other. Automated delivery of things, whether it's via
it's inevitable.
And the other reason that I think they would want to push for stuff like this is this really puts them into other markets. This puts them into restaurant delivery. You want sea urchins? We can get them to you in a half an hour. Like
they couldn't. That specific example.
No, but you understand what I'm saying. Like that puts them into a perishables market as well.
Groceries by drone.
Well, and that's why I'm saying, that's why they're going to start having things like, they can start, because Amazon has its finger in pretty much every pie. You know what I mean? And so that's going to put them into one more. Yeah. That they can start doing fresh delivery.
But at a restaurant level, that's difficult.
Okay, but if you're thinking like a large chain, yes. If you're thinking like fine dining.
They work in restaurants.
If you're thinking like fine dining, I'm talking about like a non-corporate fine dining restaurant. Oh my God, we just ran out of scallops. We have, 3 hours left of dinner service tonight. Just make an order at Amazon really fast. They'll be here in half an hour.
Yeah.
That's where that's going to come in. It may not work for, your, large scale chain restaurants, but for more finer dining, smaller type restaurants, that's going to be something that's going to be there for them.
And there's a lot of applications for it.
Yes.
child delivery. The storks will be out of business.
Oh man.
About time.
Welcome to the Matrix.
You know, it is interesting though that nobody's really brought up how it might affect the current package delivery service. Like, will people potentially, in the long run, will that kind of industry sort of start to go away?
It already is.
Like robots. It's really the epitome of like robots are doing our jobs type thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure, Sequoia, if it actually is already, because I would say my guess would be, and I've done no research on this, that part of industry has increased as the stores decrease and online ordering increases. Like package delivery is going to be, it's got to be a huge market that's ever growing and ever expanding.
Yeah.
Yes, but let's be honest, it's probably Amazon alone that's keeping the United States Postal Service going. I mean,
I don't get it. I don't think everything I ever order from
Amazon comes from
actually.
UPS. Yeah.
everything I've ever gotten has been post office.
That's weird.
Do you order from private sellers a lot more?
Not generally, no.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say, because private sellers, it's a crapshoot. I mean, you don't know what you're going to.
Yeah.
I pretty much order everything Amazon Prime.
That's probably why, because you're in the expedited shipping.
Yeah.
Whereas for the most part, I'm usually getting just standard 3 to 5 business days, whatever.
Yeah.
Or sometimes a super saver shipping, which is like a week, week and a half.
5 to 8 days. Okay.
A week to a week.
$70 a year, last I checked, for Amazon Prime, and you get 2-day free shipping on a ton of stuff. More than worth it. If you're a regular Amazon user, Amazon Prime is so worth it.
I kind of think if you
No matter where you are in the world?
No. What's that?
Really? No matter where you are in the world, like, does it
I don't know.
count for me?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. You'd have to check. I mean, go to Amazon and see. I don't know if it's available in Norway. I've had it for a couple of years, and it is pretty fantastic. But that's a whole other thing. I mean, that kind of changed. I mean, that's already one thing they've done that really kind of changed online shopping.
Yeah.
Amazon Prime. Because I always go to Amazon first, and I always sort stuff by Amazon, like Prime eligible items. That's my go-to because it's free shipping and it's fast free shipping. So I'm getting it quicker than I'd get it somewhere else. It doesn't cost me anything.
That actually reminds me. You had said about the Super Saver. Amazon just upped their Super Saver minimum to $35. It used to be $25. You wouldn't know because you're Prime.
That's actually been killing me lately, actually, because a lot of the orders that I make have been like $25 and under. But like it was a thing where it was like I was always eligible for it, and now half the time I'm like, what the shit, really?
There'd be lots of times my wife would like message me at work or call me and say, hey, I'm getting something from Amazon. It's $15. Is there anything that you need or want so that we can bump it up to the $25 and basically only have to pay $5 more because it's going to be about $5 or $6 for shipping. Right. Why not pay $4 more and get free shipping? Basically, is all you're so you're getting a $10 item for $4 essentially. And now, I mean, it's not necessarily worth it anymore. I mean, but hey, I mean, if you're buying a $20 item now, maybe you want to put forth that extra extra $15 to save 10.
But it's got to be at a point where it's smart business for them.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sure.
Because they had that for a long time. The $25 limit.
Well, most websites it's free shipping on $25 and more.
Yeah.
My company, $25 and more, you ship.
Some smaller sites it's more. I think Geek it's $40.
Yes,
$40
it is.
for free shipping, and and some sites have none. I think the smaller the site, the less likely you're going to come across that.
Yeah. Like on our website, you can't order anything.
And shipping's always $50. It's ridiculous.
So go order some stuff.
Yeah. Just
pay the $50 shipping.
Yeah. Just send us an email. We'll let you know where to send the $50 bill.
Yeah.
Which you can get our email. You can email us if you go to ithinkyoutthink.com.
Yep. There's a
go to the contact page. You can email us. Tell us how much you love us.
You can individually email each of us. You can email Sequoia. No?
Not yet. That's the test site. You can, though, because it's Sequoia at ithinkyoutthink.com, or Justin at ithinkyoutthink.com, or James at ithinkyoutthink.com. So
and if you don't care,
yet.
If you don't care, you just want to email ithinkyoutthink, it's contact at ithinkyoutthink.com.
Yes. So, and then none of us will read it because if it's not if it's not to us directly, we don't care.
Don't let them.
I'll read it because I'm decent.
I'm more of a narcissist than you are.
That's actually true. I'll agree with you on that
I win. So, did anybody have anything else on the Amazon drones?
I don't know.
Amadrones?
Like, will it come to the point where, like, after they drop it off, you can like give them $20 and they'll like take you to the bar?
The drone.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Just
Well, only if it's
grab
going
on.
to stick around and give you a ride back.
Well, then you can just order something else
Oh, yeah, true
to the
that.
bar.
Yeah, 30 minutes.
Gatorade.
How would it go for people in apartments? Like, it's gonna knock at your window? I don't.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, who knows? I mean, like if we're
It's gonna
talking,
be like a little automated hand that just comes out and just does the little knock.
I mean,
Amadrone.
the thing is, if it's gonna be half an hour delivery, it could be one of those things where it's like, in a half an hour your drone will be there, meet us outside.
right? And it
With
could like,
an apartment.
yeah,
Pickup
message your
point,
phone.
yeah.
I mean, it could be able to track your phone and track you. I mean, you
Send
might
you a
have
text
to.
message.
I didn't even think about this.
They will probably had Amazon drone pickup points.
That's another possibility.
Yeah.
Thing?
Like, yeah, for especially in city areas, where there's a
Yeah, like
living. But that's dangerous too because you go there and then criminals
There's
will
gotta
be
be-
waiting for someone to get their new iPod
Yeah.
or whatever it is in 5-10 years.
But I didn't even think about it. There's going to have to be situations in which it says, "I'm sorry, our 30 minutes is down right now because there is a snowstorm in your area." I mean, a drone
Yeah.
cannot fly in the snow. I mean, it's not going to. There's
That
no way.
you know of. You came across
Yeah, the
These
very,
are really fancy drones.
that came
like
across very
X-wings.
accusatory. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, I would.
think he
I
was
mean,
asking for it.
what if it's struck down by lightning? Like,
I mean,
Because doesn't-
you're right. There will, especially
Yeah.
like I mean, think about, if it's raining outside, you can't be like,
I can't imagine that there's some. I mean, I don't know. Who knows? I don't know what they've got in.
Well, and that's not
no,
just
but
an issue.
they
Like the
have
drone can
to
fly
have thought about that.
Oh, I'm sure that
Yeah,
they've
Like,
thought
that
about
is
it.
the first thing you think of when you think about something that's going to deliver to you flying out there in, I was going to say space, but that's way in the future. But they must have thought about that, and I think they must have made the drones so that they can either like fly in any kind of weather, or that they can handle water or snow or all that sorts of stuff. They must have thought about that.
Either that, or they may just be like, in inclement weather, our 30-minute delivery is not
Yeah,
available.
yeah.
You know, it's not
But
like
we'll downgrade you to next day service. I mean, if you don't,
exactly.
I mean, and you get a rebate or something.
I wonder if it'll work it should work on Sundays.
Yeah,
You don't have to.
it
Yeah.
should work anytime,
I mean-
realistically.
Yeah, I mean,
As long as there's somebody at the warehouse to put the package in the little yellow box, and I mean, a computer can pretty much do everything else.
Actually, a computer could probably even do that, depending on how automated your warehouse is.
Well, a lot of auto, yeah. I mean, a
Yeah,
lot
but
of
they gotta
Because
somebody has to supervise it. Like you can't trust computers.
hey, no,
What
yeah,
if they get
I'm with you.
feelings? No, what if they
I
get
am
feelings
so with
like
you
in
on
the
this.
movies? Yeah, and then they just start killing everyone like the Cybermen.
Because we don't get Sundays
Thank
off.
you.
We don't
Thank
get
you.
Sundays off.
That does remind me of the response that we got on our Twitter.
yeah.
That the Amazon drones. That isn't that the way that
Terminator started.
Terminator
Yeah.
started. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So yeah, I don't know.
Never seen
So
it,
shout out
no.
to
I don't know. I'd have to look it up. You did.
Twitter.
Twitter, yes, to Twitter for providing a media.
It was right up here earlier.
yeah, it was.
It's right there.
No, I think it was here because the Chicago
Oh, yeah.
Now blog.
And then iTunes was over there.
Yeah.
After you watch our promo, you can come back and get what they're talking about.
Yeah, because Facebook was over there.
We have Facebook.
It was at No Bags to check.
There we go. I knew it was
I believe they're like a travel, they're a travel blog or
Yeah.
something. Yeah. So
Nice.
And
thank
very
you
clever.
much. Yep.
as well.
Shout out.
Sup?
So thank you for the
Yo.
Yo, yo, yo.
So we've got about 10 minutes more. Is there?
The one thing I was thinking about the drones is there would probably be a very limited list of things. You couldn't just order anything off Amazon to get it in half an hour.
I would like a moose, please.
Well,
I mean, you can't order-
within the realm of
Yeah.
what's available on Amazon.
I want the 100-pound set of weights.
No, just legitimately, You know, maybe you can get Iron Man 3 because it's new. I mean, it's not brand new, but you wouldn't be able to get Iron Man 1.
Yeah.
You know, because it would have to come from a local warehouse, so they'd have to have it. You know, like
Yes.
I don't think
now,
so.
if you order Iron Man 1, it doesn't matter where it comes from.
I think that they were saying, though, like in the article that I read, that they were going to roll out a lot of warehouses. I mean, a lot.
Yeah, but still, there'd be a limited. I mean,
There's only a limited amount of space. You can only carry so many items.
right. So, I mean, I'm not saying it would be so limited. It'd be
Yeah,
like,
and it's only limited to books and CDs and DVDs.
right.
And
I'm
that's
sure
gonna
Like
depend
you
on
can't
the
exactly.
I'm sure that there's a collection of items that they have that these are small enough items and light enough items or whatever. And people order a massive amount of constantly.
Yeah, and you know that they have some sort of logarithm already set up to tracking their sales and everything.
Yeah.
You know, they're not going to carry 20 million turtle nightlights.
Right, and they'll be able to know where to put warehouses based on where those people are buying those things. You know,
Right.
If the people.
I heard Yazzie laughing, and it was distracting me.
She likes turtle nightlights. What do you know?
It was just the most random thing ever.
I'm buying a turtle nightlight for my goddaughter for Christmas, so that was...
Like a ninja turtle?
Oh, okay, then it makes sense.
Turtles.
Here's your turtle nightlight. Oh!
That's what he said.
Now close your eyes.
Anyway.
Moving on.
We're moving on.
Okay.
I have a couple of articles, unless there's anything else anybody else wants to bring up about the Amadrones.
Tom's going to be really happy.
I know, that's 3 times.
We keep calling him Amadrones.
I think he said $5, $10 for each time we mentioned it.
No, he just said that he was going to tell you that, but I'm getting $10 no matter what happens.
Oh, okay.
Amadrones.
Amadrones.
Copyright pending. Thomas Burkhardt.
Exactly.
He's going to love that.
All right, so anyway, I have an article here.
Okay.
It is about chewing popcorn could block ads' influence in movies. A study found, like when you watch movies in theaters, chewing the popcorn can actually block the influence. And the reason is when you see words, when you see items and things like that, your brain automatically makes your mouth, your tongue will form the words subconsciously in your mouth, and it helps kind of solidify it into your brain. But they found that when you're eating popcorn, obviously you can't do that, and so it blocks the influence of those ads. So this study found that they were the people who were in the study were less likely to retain the information about the ads and things like that if they were given popcorn to eat during the thing versus those who did not have it. And so, so anyway, that made me think, I wonder if movie theaters, there would be some sort of a push to, like, I don't know, not sell popcorn, which would be really weird.
Yeah, that'll never happen.
Well, either that or
they'll be like, you need to eat all this popcorn before you can go to the movie, sir.
No, but what they may start doing is, instead of it being like, okay, we have the ads in the beginning, break in the middle. Because, realistically, you're not chewing popcorn the entire, or at least I'm not.
Don't ever do that, movie theaters.
Well,
I swear, if that happens, I would never go to a movie theater again.
If they did, then you could
people
take.
would freak out. That's never happened.
Yeah.
There's no way.
But then you could take
your
that bathroom break. You could get the refill on your popcorn.
Why would you support this theory?
No, okay. Here's the thing.
Justin.
We say that people would never accept it, but if every movie theater started doing it, you got used to your, in 5 seconds you can skip this ad before almost every YouTube video.
No, but they do that at theaters, though.
It's a relatively new thing. I know it's been around for a long time now. But in relation to, like, sitting down in a theater and watching a movie, YouTube is a very new thing. Sitting down in a movie without a break as the movie goes is like, that's the way it's been for a very, very, very long time.
Yes, but I'm just saying that I don't think people would freak out. Because I think we think people are going to freak out about advertising.
I'm freaking out already.
Way more. Calm down, sir.
I am calm.
Calm down.
Calm down, Ray Romano.
Hey.
Oh.
He keeps them on.
I'm sorry, your angry face just makes you look like him
Say.
even more.
I don't want
I
That's
can't
not
help
even
it.
his
It's your
angry face.
fault.
You don't even know. You
No,
don't even know.
like, I'm freaking out here. That's Ray Romano.
You've never seen my
We're
angry
twins.
face, Jesse. Pray you never do.
I'm not gonna lie. This man's angry face is.
Wait till you see my angry face.
I ain't afraid.
I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
Have you ever seen his angry face?
This is a whole different podcast.
Yeah.
Anyway.
If you ever do breaks in movies, I'm never coming again, okay? And I'm going to start some organization. That's
Speaking
gonna ban
about movies, guess what comes out this week?
A movie?
A movie. Hobbit. Desolation of Smaug.
I still have not seen the last one.
I am going
What?
to see, I believe, at the
I
midnight
know.
premiere this Thursday night, Friday morning. Luckily, I think I close on Friday. I hope. Then I don't open.
That's only a couple days away. I would find out for sure.
Yeah.
All I know is I don't work tomorrow, and I think I work on Thursday. It's all right. I'm just the boss.
How did the first movie hold up? I haven't
It was
seen
good.
it yet.
It was very good.
Yeah.
We
It was amazing.
You can go back and watch it.
That's true.
Actually, I think we reviewed it twice because you saw it, then I saw it later.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe you missed those.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no real.
I don't think that I did miss it.
It's okay, Sequoia. I haven't seen them
You're
either.
a big fan of the podcast.
Well, she's obviously not the most awesome fan.
Said it.
Because that's me.
It's good. And it's been out on Blu-ray for a while, too.
I know.
And
I'm
I own it.
an awful person.
He probably owns it. You own it?
I don't think so.
Nah, I saved it to
She
put it on
just
my
hates us.
so my family had it
Watch
already.
the movie already.
Why would you say that, Yazzie?
I'm sorry.
Anyway.
It was a joke.
See, his angry face is really good. My pathetic face is really good.
Oh my god, it made me cry.
Okay. Well, since this is spiraling well out of control,
Yeah.
we're gonna go ahead
A
and.
promo.
Oh God.
So-
I think that's what's going on.
We will see.
You can just blame me, because every time I'm on... Oh. Every time I'm on your podcast, it's so much more fun, and it spirals off.
We do blame you,
Much more
Yazzie.
fun?
We do blame you.
We do blame you. So,
Thank you.
thank you for all of you who joined us for the show. Thank you, Yazzie, for coming on again.
Thanks, Yazzie!
Hi,
Best.
Thank you, sir, isn't he?
I'm fan. Get it right.
Yeah, same difference. Anyway, go visit our website at youthink.com. Check out our videos. We are in the process of getting a new YouTube together. Getting all the videos over to there so that it's its own I Think You Think podcast YouTube instead of just under the Stolen Arts YouTube. So there you go. Lots of fun things coming up. Join us in future podcasts. You guys, it is You Think. We are I Think. You are You Think. So we will see you next week.
Bye, folks.
You got it? Do you want me to do it?